Sorry, just to make a quick apologies for not coming on as soon as we have, but it's great for you that you're joining us on Facebook and YouTube live from Stanley for this afternoon's Leeds Rhinos Academy match against City of Hull Academy. Alongside me this afternoon is Brad Martin. Brad?
All right.
We've had the opening try from City of Hull. It was Tom Were scoring down the other end of the field. How do we need to bounce back from this, Brad? An early setback.
Yeah, I think we just need to start dominating their pack here. They're trying to get a bit of a roll, and if we start dominating here, we'll win the match through the forwards, and then the outside backs can work off that and hopefully get them tries in. So
just to run you quickly through the team lineups for today's game. So for the Rhinos, Liam Whitton starts at fullback. On the wing is Liam Tyndall and Ewan Stevens. The centres, Tom Barton and Joe Burton. In the halves, Ewan Stevens is Harvey Spence and Jack Mallinson. The props, Moise Mustafa and Louis McConnell, with the hooker Corey Johnson. Into the front row, we've got Tyler Dupree, Owen Trout as well returning, and Jared O'Connor completes the 13. On the subs bench, Ollie Burton, Ben Markland, Harry Georgiou and Ryan Rowley. Now onto the City of Hull side. At fullback is Mikey Lewis. On the wings, Charlie Graham and Josh Atkinson. The centres, Will Tate and Jude Ferrier. The halfbacks, Morgan Cutsforth and Marcus Walker. The props, Callum Stark and Richard De Oliveira. The hooker, Jordan Webster. In the front row, Jake Bartlett, Tom Were, Kean and Kean Tyson. On the bench, George Cook, Ewan Badham, Jamie Hogarth and Ben McNamara. As we see City of Hull come back through the middle of the field now, Morgan Cutsforth. And a penalty for
head-eye.
City of Hull, head-eye tackle, as you say, Brad. So that's 7th in the league at the moment of the East Coast side, with 3 wins and 4 losses this season. Had a convincing result last week against Bradford as well as Leeds. As they come now through cuts for the short ball with a dummy and goes straight over. A second try for City of Hull in a matter of moments, and we're 10-0 down, Brad.
Yeah, 10-0 down. We just need to get his heads on here. Not let his heads get down, keep him up and go straight back at him now, get a drown, and hopefully we'll get through.
So it's Cutsforth going over for City of Hull's second try of the afternoon. As we just wait on the conversion. It's such a disappointing start, as well as after such a great result up at Emerald Headingley last Sunday, Brad. What were your thoughts after that game?
Yeah, it was great. I was buzzing after the game. First time I've ever beaten Wigan myself, so it was great to get the win over them. There's not much better feeling than beating Wigan, especially for a Leeds player, and at Headingley as well made it 100 times better.
For yourself, we'll say the injury is disappointing to be out, but still to get as many minutes as you did was must have been positive for you.
Yeah, to get 65 minutes against Wigan, that would good. Try and get my fitness up, and to start with it was 6 weeks, but it's gone down to 3 weeks now, so should be back soon.
So a successful conversion for City of Hull. It's 12-0 and Leeds behind early. Just worth mentioning that Owen Trout is back in the lineup for this afternoon's match, after featuring for the first team for the last couple, so it's great to see him back in an academy shirt as Mikey Lewis takes the ball in now for City of Hull. It's Webster, gives it on to Callum Stark. Good carry straight to Tyler Dupree and Callum McClellan there. Making sure the Leeds tacklers are in early on. There's Webster. Onto Were. He just backs himself up. Dupree in there again. Looks to try and get the offload away. Can't though in the end. And Webster has to then play the ball this time to Walker. Goes at the line. Short pass. And they're away again. This time it's Cutsforth with acres of space in front of him. Beats Whitton for pace. And it's a second try for City of Hull. And as quick as that, it's a third try. A quick double from Morgan Cutsworth. We're just seeing there, just racing away from Witten.
From their shape there, we just need to jam in instead of... We'd rather them go around us than through us. So all players just need to jam there and try and make them use steel to try and get out.
It was easy enough though, wasn't it? You could just see the
No, it looked way too easy, that.
the pass from Lewis, just finding Cutsworth, and he just raced away. And usually Liam Witten doesn't get beaten for a lot of pace, does he? He's very quick as a fullback, and in the end, it's a third try.
Yeah, we just need to bounce back here, not let his heads get down with a few early tries.
So Mikey Lewis waiting for the conversion, wearing 18 this afternoon. Swings the ball back in, the flags are raised, and that's another successful conversion. Perfect today at City Hall. Playing the conditions well, to say it's a very windy day. The conditions definitely do favour the Hull side at the moment. Let's see if it changes for the second half. Jared O'Connor as well coming back into the lineup for Leeds. That's the other major change. Jack Mallinson as well, worth a shout out in at half back after the hamstring injury to Callum McClelland last week.
Need to get someone to get offline here, put a big hit on, raise the boys.
As it's Bartlett into the line. Good tackle from Johnson in there as well. Out dummy half goes Ferreira. Quick play to Webster. Now it's with Walker. This is Mikey Lewis, sorry. Drops the ball off, and it's a good carry in from De Oliveira.
Need inside pressure there.
Now push it right, and it's looking too easy for them at the moment. It's a good carry. It's a good attacking set, really, from City of Hull when they're pushing it close to just beyond the 40. Short pass to Walker, and that's on the last tackle, so it'll be a turnover here for Leeds. But it's almost as if they're not woken up at the moment, Brad. It's a bit troubling at the start of this half.
Yeah, we don't seem to be on here. Just need to try and find his feet, get some good carries in, few good sets, get into the cycle, and get some points on board.
As Mallinson goes to Spence. Spence out the back to Witten. Gets onto onto Tom Barton, sorry. Takes it back into the line. Good carry from the young centre. Out the Kipak set-up. Now in with Owen Trout. Playing his second game of the season after playing here against Wakefield at the start of the campaign. As Dupree. Sorry, that's Louis McConnell.
Yeah.
That's Louis into the line. And now it's with O'Connor. Gets an offload away to Johnson. Johnson onto Owen Trout. Trout moving over to this right-hand side. Tries to fend away from the Hull defenders, but they wrap him up well. So plenty of first-team experience under his belt. Played alone at Dewsbury Rams as well, as Spence goes with a short pass to Barton. It's great hands, and Liam Tyndall with a walk-in in the corner.
That's a very good try, that good steal from us there.
The perfect way, I guess, to bounce back is...
Great steal from TJ there to get it to winger.
It's a good... It's great hand skills, as you say. Nice and quick.
This is what we needed. Build on back of that. Hopefully we'll get some more.
It was that switch, actually, by Spence, you could say, just back over onto the... bring it back to the right rather than continue out to the left. That just, I think, caught the Hull defenders napping.
Yeah, I think Spence just saw some space on edge there. Good vision from him.
He knows he knows the size of Owen Trout as well, and that he is a hard man to tackle and get a hold of. So by exposing him there and then getting the offload away to Barton, who we know has got the skills to put Liam Tyndall in. So despite conceding three early tries in this one, just wait for Spence to slot the conversion. Which he misses. So it's going to stay at 18, 4 points to 18. So despite those 3 early scores, Leeds just getting one back. Just when they needed to as well. So conceding that early, the amount of points they've conceded early on is definitely stunned the crowd here. That's just building at Stanley. City Hall gets back underway. Bouncing the ball down, Mallinson misreads it. That's a light bounce to Stevens, who takes it just before it goes over the in goal.
Need to catch that on full there.
He then goes on a little break away. This is a good carry from Stevens. Now it's with Mustafa. Great game last week, Moise Mustafa.
Very good, yeah.
Coming back into the team.
For him. Need to get his big fellas working here, get a roll on here, downfield.
Dupree is definitely one of those and is in there. Now it's with Johnson onto Joe Burton. Introduced to the side with Jack Broadbent absent through a shoulder injury. He's seen running on throughout the game. That's with O'Connor. Straightens up a good carry from the loose forward. Plays the ball. It's a knock on. You could see that there, couldn't you? It was a silly error from Jared.
Can't be having them errors there. Gives them ball in nearly an hour half as well.
Especially when we were on a roll on as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially when we were rolling forward as well as we were.
That were a good set up to then, but just need to focus now.
So there will be a test in defence once more for Leeds. As they come forward through Will Tate. Good carry from the man wearing 4 there. Good tackling from O'Connor and Spence as well. Webster onto Lewis. Drops the ball back off for De Oliveira. As now they come left. It's with
I think they just tied it in this
Lewis.
Our right edge here, trying to break us down.
As Cutsforth tries to get a quick break and pushes forward, and he's definitely utilising his abilities at half-back. He's looking very threatening
very good so far
for them today, as Lewis dribbles a little kick in behind, and it's come off the hands of Ferreira. Bounced off into touch, so this should be a scrum here to Leeds, and is a scrum to Leeds. And just don't forget that you can, that the Rhinos will be playing their academy game as a curtain raiser next Saturday when they face Bradford Bulls. So get there nice and early and watch the academy action for the main event. As Leeds take on Bradford in round 5. So O'Connor gives the ball to McConnell, good carry and drop off to Mustafa. Lands on his front, tries to play the ball. Does eventually. Now it's with Spence. Tries to double pump and then gives a short pass onto Trout. 3 tacklers again. He still hasn't gone down, Owen. It's a good play from him. And Johnson now looking to make something happen in the middle. But yet again, it just seems like the options are closing down for Leeds at the moment. Spence, high bomb looking for Tyndall.
Need to challenge that kick there.
It's an easy take from Graham, and the referee here spotting offside from Barton and Tyndall. As Marcus Walker kicks into touch. So just to mention as well, the game clock is behind due to our late start. So don't be judging how long we're playing by that at the moment. As they made their way into the middle of the park, on the halfway line of Hull. Webster onto Cutsforth. Short pass, good take from Trout to cut Jake Bartlett down. As Webster once more gives it on to Stark. Just takes it beyond the 40. Now they're coming forward once more. Short pass into the big man of Richard de Oliveira. And Webster waits. Plays a poor pass to Walker, who manages to pick it up somehow, and then gives it on to Bartlett, who is brought down eventually by Mustafa. It's all looking very messy at the moment by both sides, despite Hull's superior points tally at the moment. A little chip in behind just runs dead. It's seen dead by Witten and Ewan Stevens. As the referee will call the play back, as Witten looked to get that quick play, and he's definitely got the pace to break away if he saw an opening for him.
Yeah, definitely not catching Wits if he breaks through.
Quick play lands on his front as well. Gives it on to Trout.
Big few carries there.
To be behind so early, there does need to be a response here from Rob Burrows' side as Trout goes down in back play. But Mallington plays it on to Witten, gives out wide to Stevens, looking for a bit of space for the first year. How well's he played since coming into the team? At both fullback and winger. What are your thoughts on him, Brad?
Yeah, very well. He's very dangerous, got really good feet. If he gets in any space, you'll struggle to catch him.
Scored plenty of tries this season. Kicked 3 goals as well as Spence. Gives it on to Witten. And behind to Tyndall, as you say, really mistimed pass. And then runs into his own man, knowing Trout.
Our timing just seems to be off from his halves, and need to get that right.
As Johnson looks to try break away in the middle of the park. The 20 metres out here, Leeds should look for an attacking kick and will through Spence. High bomb out towards Liam Tyndall, who jumps up and takes it well. Tries to buy back to Barton, but instead Cutsford kicks on. And now that's on the last tackle. They won't get the repeat set, which you'd have thought they might actually, because he technically did play at the ball, kicking it away. So how they can?
I think he played at the ball there. In my opinion, that should be another set of 6 for us.
We're going on the referee, who's says turnover.
Hopefully Trout can carry on. He's limping about a bit. We don't need to lose another forward. Leave us short.
Says apart from yourself, there's Lewis Delaney.
Yeah,
Sam Morehouse, Sam Walters.
Yeah.
This is a good carry there from Callum Stark for City of Hull. We're just edging towards Leeds territory. It's with Walker. Good tackle from Johnson and Dupree in there. Webster out wide to Tate, who's trying to find a bit of space on that right edge. It's just worth mentioning as well, they're both really young edges. You look at, Joe Burton and Ewan Stevens, Liam Tyndall and Tom Barton are all first years, all made their way into this as contenders in the starting lineup.
Hopefully can prove themselves on edge. Being young lads need to show up, put a big stint in, show what they can do.
There's a head-high tackle here on Liam Witten, and you could hear the ooze from upstairs. It was it looked that bad. But just a quick note on Liam Tyndall, who did open the scoring for Leeds. Both him and yourself playing and scoring for Yorkshire. What was that like to debut?
Yeah, massive honour to get picked to start with, and then to play against Lancashire. It's just a different feeling. You're just buzzing to start with. It's great. And to score as well were massive for myself.
So it'll only get better for guys like you this year.
Yep.
The more time you're out on the field getting the opportunities.
That timing there is off.
And the timing, you say is off. And there's a little back from Tyndall. Questionable.
Just need to time off Spencer. We need some back rowers need to start running off him.
As Tyndall then does take the ball down at the 20-metre line. Now it's with McConnell. Loves it up back in the middle of the field. Taking tacklers with him. He's right bang in front of those posts. They go either way here, Leeds. They go to the left. For Spence. Drops it back inside. Into Rowley, who's come on the field for Leeds. Another Yorkshire debutant. 2 weeks ago. Spence sees a gap in front of him. Oh, that's beautiful.
Great from Spencer.
Great footwork from the half-back. And just the gap almost presented itself for him to just run on through. We're going to see it again.
Expecting him to kick there, and he's just smart. And
look at that. So the big forwards couldn't get across there. Stark being one of them just could not get across to cover.
Well, their forwards are just shut off there. I think he's going to kick, and he's found the space.
So defence has seemed to be their issue this season. They've had 223 points scored against them, which ranks them really low, 8th out of 12 teams in the league.
I think they've been missing a few players this year, Hull. Don't think there are any third years playing today. So I know some have been on loan to Doncaster. Some been in first team. Very low on numbers at the minute.
It doesn't get any easier for them either. They've got away who are still on a losing run since the start of the season. Not one win yet, as Spence does get the conversion, taking the score up to 10. They've then got Wigan at home and London at home, so the points probably won't come until London should, unless they do put a scare on Wigan.
Yeah, if they start getting some players back, they might start challenging teams a bit more. But they've done a good job on us here from the players they have got.
Of all the teams this season, they have out of the. I say that we have tended to struggle at Stanley against this team. We've not beaten them in the last couple of seasons, as Mallinson does take the ball. Lost by 4 points last season, the Rhinos. Hopefully looking to prove some right things wrong like we did against Wigan the other week. As Spence, so it's Johnson taking the ball forward.
Ryan's come on to the pitch now. I think Muzzy's done off and Ryan's come on.
So it's a like-for-like change, isn't it, that one?
Ryan will be looking for a big impact here.
Definitely worth reading the article that we put out this week with Ryan, getting to know him and how he's striving in this academy environment in his first year. As Johnson looks for a bit of space in front of him. Grubber kicks in behind. There's no one chasing, so it allows the Hull man to take it over. It's good defence though to push him over into the in goal.
Surely he's in goal there.
And the referee's letting us play on. That's a questionable call to say the least, but we'll play on as then Hull then get the penalty. So it was Ferreira there that looked to be in goal.
Yeah, well in goal there. Bad call from ref.
Instead, Hull will be on the attack. .30 metres from their own line now. It's a big first drive there from Jamie Hogarth coming off the bench.
Need to get up on him.
Need to go up on the big forwards in general, don't we? Because that's where they're going to definitely push from today, City of Hull.
That's where they're breaking us down and getting too many metres through the forwards.
Now it's with Ewan Badham, who's come on the field as well. Two big forwards they've brought on, and it's another penalty for City of Hull. More ruck indiscretion, which was the same last week for periods. There was a big period at the end of the first half.
Yeah,
we just couldn't seem to sort out the ruck area.
It's not good for Charlton. He's coming off. Going to leave us short there.
Plenty of forwards on the bench, so I think we could see Harry Georgiou.
I think Mustafa.
Come on, Mustafa's back on.
Yeah, Muzzy's going into the back row.
Mustafa's straight back on the field. As Cutsforth takes the ball into the line. 2 tries for him already today. It's with Mikey Lewis. Taking it into the line. Good tackle from O'Connor. Ryan Rowley and McConnell in there as well. Now they're coming forward. It's a mistimed pass for Cutsforth.
That's what we needed there.
And it is just what we needed when they were in such an attacking position. To make sure that we turn the ball over. It's with Witten now. 30 metres out. Spence. Onto Ryan Rowley. Driving down the middle of the park. And 3 tacklers and he still doesn't go down. As Dupree takes another big carry. And you've mentioned about the importance that the big forwards are going to have to play today. And that's where the most of our success will have to come from. The likes of Dupree, Mustafa, down on this edge.
That's how our games are won, through our middle, I think. Then as Batchton play off it.
As the kick is taken by the wind, it is very windy out there today, so the ball goes dead. You'd have to assume taken by the wind there. That was a bit. It was a bit all over. So Hull will get the ball just over their 40. With Tate taking the ball in for the first drive. Good tackle. Barton. Mustafa's in there as well. Great control. It's Cutsforth. Goes on to Webster. Looks to try and get away from Rowley, but doesn't. Good tackle from the young man.
Great second effort there from Ryan, straight on his back.
The City of Hull just turning the screw, you think, a little bit, and Webster pokes his nose through and then gets the offload away to Cutsforth. Gets onto Bartlett. There. Good space in front of him. Barton's up to the challenge of Bartlett. So just charging it down the field, the East Coast side. They're getting ever closer to the line. Will it be a fourth try? That's with Marcus Walker, who carries 4-5.
Midway 200 metres.
Carrying nearly all the left edge there.
Yeah.
As Webster goes short onto Tate, who's held up, says the referee. So pull the ball back. That's Tom Rowe there. He's already got a try to his name, and that's a turnover in the favour of the Rhinos. Just what we needed. Good defence on the goal line.
Yeah, definitely a few big carries from backs here, I think.
There's Witten here. Doesn't make many on the first. But Liz will get a big set here. Tyndall runs great meters as Liam Tyndall. Definitely one of our star people this season. Plenty of tries to his name as well. Giorgio in for his first carry since coming off the bench.
Great carry from Super there.
Bounces off one or two before going into contact. Good play from the substitute in 21. Now it's with Mustafa. Good carry in the middle of the park. And they're just the carries that you want in the experienced guys to do.
Need some people to step up here.
Johnson throws a dummy, looks to get the space in front of him, and the arm's free for the offload, but Tyndall wasn't chasing up. Barton in there as well. So the ball goes over the head of Spence, who kicks it downfield, looking for Mikey Lewis, and does. Drops off on his inside for Charlie Graham, who's smothered by Giorgio and O'Connor. They're just pushing forward now, City Hull. Nothing too dangerous, but Leeds have done well to bring this back from going 18 points down. They're definitely showing a lot of fight, a lot of spirit in front of this Stanley crowd, and another little breakaway from Lewis. Gets them up to halfway. Webster onto Wilson, onto Tom Were. It's a good take from the number 12. So pull it back over to the left. They're moving well at the moment. It's a good pass to
get up on their forwards here.
To Hogarth.
Missing tackles.
As Witten waits for the ball, and it's over again. This time it's Graham in the corner. And when he thought you and Stevens had read that, it's no try. No try again, says the referee. It's the second that's been knocked off. Offside.
Offside, yeah.
Yes, please. It's another. So we'll see the replay again. It's bobbled in behind, and
Touches trolled him offside there.
I think that is, I think that's a touch. Judge that calls that, which is good from him. But that's the second time that they've come close to Hull and not come away with the 4 or 6 points. They'll be hoping that doesn't come back to haunt them as Rowley gets an offload away, and no one was watching the ball.
Need to look there. Needs to keep his eyes up.
Both Johnson and O'Connor missed that, which just isn't good enough when...
We just don't seem to be on today compared to his last performance against Wigan. We don't seem to be backing this up at the minute.
Well, it needs to take a couple of minutes in this into the second period for us to get going.
Hopefully we'll come back out second half a lot better.
As Tate takes the ball to ground for the first here. City Hall again threatening the line. In with Hogarth. Good carry from the substitute. Since coming on the field, he's been devastating down the middle.
He's had a lot of impact.
He's bouncing off players really well.
Need to start managing him.
As Bartlett, good tackle from Leeds, looking to just hold out until the end of the half. Cutsforth, short pass to Ferreira. Brought down on this left-hand side. Harvey Spence and Liam Tyndall in there. Now it's with Mikey Lewis. Looks to dummy his way through and nearly does beat Georgiou. Doesn't quite beat Jared O'Connor though, who's a bystander in that one. A little chip out wide. There's plenty of space. It's intercepted by Ewan Stevens, who's on the break, but there's, unlike last week, there's plenty of bodies around him to make sure that he doesn't get any further. Joe Burton now. We just thought he might kick on and go away there.
Yeah, I thought we were going to go at length then.
You backed him as well, like we all backed Jack Broadbent last week. As Witten takes that ball in. Mallinson across the line, gives it on to Spence. Spence short pass to Mustafa, but no real pace, no real aggression to hit the line. Spence goes on to Barton. Barton looks to open a bit of space out wide, looks to beat Josh Atkinson. There's no room for him there. Spence is forced to kick away. And he'll look to maybe hold that up in goal. But it just rolls over that. Well, it's a brilliant kick. Yeah. Just see it just hold up on the line. Just rolling over. As Atkinson will be the first to carry away from City of Hull.
Good tackle, TJ and Corey there.
You can always back TJ to make those sorts of tackles, can't you?
Very good defenders, TJ.
Last time we were here against Huddersfield, he was mentioned by Rob Burrow, as one of the standout players on the field and for his defensive efforts.
Like myself in back row, I always feel safe when TJ's there. He's not going to miss anyone.
As I've said earlier, plenty of those lads from the Kipak set up there. Joe Burton, Ollie Burton off the bench as well. Really making a name for themselves in this academy. As Rowley takes a tackle there. Now it's with Hogarth, looks to beat Dupree and does beat Dupree. It's got Mallinson round his waist.
Need to start managing him.
Good tackle in the end. Georgiou in there as well, playing his third game since coming back from a knee injury. And they go to the right-hand side. This time it's through Walker. But again, last tackle play, and instead of going for the attacking kick, they're just the pushing Leeds and making us come out of our own half.
Finished off in a good position there, got us in a corner.
Not for the first time as well. No. As Stevens is in there with the first tackle. Joe Burton breaks away from one, breaks away from two. He's going a good distance here, Joe Burton. Good carry from the centre in number 4. Making it nearly up to halfway. That's just what we needed to get us out of the area there, leaving a gap in behind the ruck. As Georgiou, he bounces away from a couple. Now Mustafa wants a bit more as well. A good carry from the prop forward.
Massive space.
Spence, there was a massive space in the middle. You could see it as Barton looks to make headways out wide. And can Leeds get in just before the half-time break? Tyndall onto Spence. Moving it out wide, and then another missed time passes. Allowed to reach ground. Mikey Lewis dropping on that one. And another chance just goes to waste. Brad.
Yeah, another mistake from us. Making way too many here.
And then conceding the penalty for a high tackle. Just isn't what Leeds are wanting after such a poor start. We've definitely ground our way back into it at the moment. 8 points the advantage, and that's a poor kick.
That's good for us.
The wind, I think, playing a factor again there as Liam Witten looks to break away for Leeds. Can they get one more just to edge it a bit closer at half-time? No, they can't. because that will be the last play. So after a poor start to the half from Leeds, Tom Rowe getting over nice and early for them, and then 2 tries from Morgan Cutsford set Leeds back 18 points to 0 before they hit the front through Liam Tyndall. A great pass from Owen Trout to put him in there, and then Harvey Spence just going through, showing a quick dummy to head over and score. So at half time, it's Leeds Rhinos 10, City of Hull Academy 18.
I remember watching my first game here in the East Stand, as it was known then. 7 years old. It was Leeds v Castlehall, funnily enough, in the late 80s. And I remember getting Roy Powell's autograph afterwards. Yes. By the time I was 10, I was a full-blown South Stander coming up. Dougie Lawton's Barmy Army. After I'd finished playing at Stanley, on Stanley Park, I'd get a fiver and I'd get my mum to run up to Headingley and I'd come and stand here with the rest of my teammates shouting, "Come on, Leeds, Harvey's gonna get you." Some of my favourite memories were seeing Leeds smash the mighty Wigan side. I saw that all-famous Paul Sterling try as well in that World Club Challenge. And I once even saw Leeds draw against Sheffield Eagles 46 apiece. It's all about what an amazing journey. And in about 6 months' time, I'll be back here right on these old stands supporting my hometown club again. We're giving away 4 of the best seats in the house at the home game against Castleford Tigers on 16th of May. Funnily enough, the old best seats in the house are now at my house. It's a different stadium, but a wonderful one at that, taking us into the next generation. If you want to win those 4 tickets, then all you have to do is send us in your favourite moments at Headingley. Videos, pictures on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and use the hashtag Headingley History.
So back out for the second half. Leeds Rhinos trailing City Full Academy 10 points to 18. And it'll be City of Hull to get us underway in the second half. Got Sam Morehouse alongside us in the second period. Sam, what were your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, a bit poor from the boys, to be fair. I don't think they were happy with it, and Rob's just spoke to them, had a stern word with them in the changing room, and hopefully we can turn it round.
And it's Jack Mallinson who gives away who looked to have given away the early penalty, but instead it's a penalty to Leeds. So just what we needed, a positive start to this second half. After trailing 3 tries early on in the first, it's Rowley with the first carry. Now with Johnson, onto Dupree, straight into the line, and we were talking about with Brad Martin the impact that the forward pack are having at the moment. You know, Harry Georgiou, Ryan Rowley, and Tyler Dupree, how dominant they are, and how that showed against Wigan.
Yeah, definitely, it was a superb performance by boys last week, and especially going down to one man and 30 minutes, and managed to seal that game off with a late try by Jock Broadbent. And you were happy about that one, weren't you, Dan?
I think we all were, for those that were there watching us at Emerald Headingley or on the live streams. As Leeds come up with the error here, Liam Whitton just bouncing the ball on the ground to turn the ball over again. But a promising start in the opening period here for Leeds. After that slow start in the first. Tries from Liam Tyndall and Harvey Spence on the ball already for Rob Burrows' side. And City of Hull look to come away now. This time Webster giving the ball short to Callum Stark. Good carry into the line. Tackled well by Tyler Dupree. Who wrestles him to the ground in the end, 40 metres away from his own try line. Webster gives the ball onto Josh Atkinson, who's come over from the right-hand side over into the middle of the park just to pick up a bit of possession. Not seen him a lot in this half as Cutsforth gets the ball away in the end. Mikey Lewis with his hands on the ball eventually. Halfway out. Cutsforth, short pass on the inside to Lewis and just messes that play up there, which is fortunate for us.
Yeah, it was good inside pressure by Harry there, and just forcing that mistake.
It's only his third game back as well, Harry Georgiou, but definitely making an impact on a forward pack that needs, size and strength. When you take out the likes of Dupree and Mustafa that do play first team as well.
Yeah, definitely. He were out for a while, and it's always hard coming back into it, and he seemed to fit right back in.
And you've said it, and as we were talking about earlier, there's only a week or so, and then we see yourself back in action, Sam. Are you looking forward to getting back out there?
Yeah, hopefully. I were hoping to play this game, but boss said I needed another week or so. So hopefully I'm back for next week against Bradford, which should be a good experience before first team Challenge Cup game.
It should be. And you can I'd definitely go down and watch that one before the main event. And then we've got St Helens away, and then Warrington back here at the start of June as Leeds kick ahead. And Whitton's brought out off the ball, and I'm not really unsure why the referee's not picked that one up, to be honest. But Charlie Graham will run away instead.
Yeah, I don't know how the ref has not seen that, Dan. The coaches are not happy upstairs, but I think Wits were just totally taken off the ball. And
he was definitely on for the try there. You'd put money on him scoring it, and said him looked to have been pulled back, just preventing Leeds from scoring. But City of Hull are coming away anyway. Cutsforth into the line, short ball to Lewis. Definitely been their most active player out on the park, Mikey Lewis. Playing around at fullback this afternoon. Kicks the ball away towards Liam Whitton. Drops back inside for Tyndall, who motors himself back in field over the 40 and almost to halfway. And Leeds again showing the speed and the agility from the backs that are pulling away. And Joe Burton's been one of them that's used the gap in behind the ruck to pull away. And Liam Whitton in there again. And now it's with Johnson. O'Connor onto Spence. Spence out wide for Barton, looking to just pull the space. Drops it off to Liam Tyndall, and he almost gets there, does the winger. Can't be a metre or so away. As the ball on the last comes to Spence, who can't get away and's just jumped upon by the City Hall defenders.
Yeah,
but it's not a bad place to turn over the ball.
No, not bad at all. It was good defence by the whole team. Just putting pressure on Harvey and just forcing that tackle.
Forcing the play, City Hall, and they're protecting the lead well after 5 or so minutes into this first period.
Yeah, that's probably what some of they've talked about at half time, just try to protect that lead and stay in this cycle, and hopefully we can break it and stop them.
We've been restricted here to metres, the East Coast side, as Graham comes back in field looking to find a gap, but Corey Johnson all over him. Spoke this week about how proud he's been to lead the Rhinos this season through the 6 wins that we have got, and the only missing out against Huddersfield. As they come left and kick away down to Liam Whitton, City Hall, and that's the only option they're using at the moment. They're not using any attacking kicks, because I guess they're not in the position at the moment, but they've not had any threats upon the Leeds line just yet. As Burton finds Stevens with that pass. And Mallison throws a wayward ball onto Dupree, who nearly gets away and was on the board last week. He must have been proud to see a forward on the board.
Yeah, he's been playing well as Tyler and been stepping up, being that third year in with that first team experience.
As does this man, Moise Mustafa.
Definitely. Another guy who's got that first team experience. And Dipper he's injured at the moment. He's had to come off, but
definitely made his contribution today as O'Connor looks to boom a pass out wide, and it's flicked on again from Barton, and Tyndall's going to have to work to get his hands on the ball, and does eventually. Looking to find a gap somewhere in the middle. After all that good play, nothing came of it. As Johnson throws the ball to Spence. Spence kicks across the park looking for Ewan Stevens, who gets his hands on the ball, and in the end, Joe Burton does ground the ball. I can see the referee chalking this one off. I'm not too sure he's got this one, Joe Burton.
yeah, I think Ewan might have touched it in the air.
Yeah, that's what he's saying, the referee. Just the touch there from Ewan Stevens. We'll see the replay. Kicking across the park. Yeah, he definitely gets his hands on that ball. Goes forward, and there's 2 men in there. There's Dupree in there as well, isn't there? To ground that ball. City Hall come away now through Richard Oliveira. Plenty of touches in this match for the prop forwards. It's another good run as well. It's Jake Bartlett there in the second row. Good run from number 11. Goes down as well and claims a penalty. It's a cheap one, but a clever one at that.
Yeah, just a bit of ill discipline there from lads. Just been on their line for some time now. We just need to be smarter about it and not give them easy meters up the field.
So City Hall just short of the 40. They're going to push forward. This time Bartlett with his hands on the ball again. Up over the 40, trying to get close to Leeds territory, and Cutsworth tries to cut his way through, like he has done for the 2 tries he's scored already. It's definitely been a threat that Leeds haven't been able to deal with, the small halfback. When you look at him compared, definitely using that to his advantage out there on the park. As Webster double pumps and gives the ball on to Stark. Takes the ball in with Dupree and Georgiou all round in there. Webster onto Walker. Walker, flat pass out to Tate, and if he's grounded that, he's done a good job, but the referee instead says a knock on.
Yeah,
and we'll play again.
Great stuff there from Ewan Stevens, just mopping up at back and holding him up, just forcing that error. I think that's
gets close, doesn't it? That's really good. A really good effort. Liam Whitton as well. The opportunity there.
I think that's 2 try savers from Ewan now, isn't it, Dan? And
it is, yes.
Good one in first half. One there.
So that's the third opportunity. We just see a man go down in back play for City of Hull. It's a third opportunity they've had, really, City of Hull, that they've not taken to their opportunity. And that's and that could cost them when you look at, the fine margins in rugby league. It is those missed efforts that you do sometimes regret missing.
Yeah, definitely, Don. Hopefully we'll capitalise on that and can make them pay for it.
Because you add those 3 tries onto the score that's already on the board, and it really has gone in favour of the visitors today. But to only be 8 points in it, you definitely have to thank your lucky stars for Leeds at the moment. As Dupree plays the ball to Georgiou, just mows his way down the park, and like Mustafa and Dupree, is just bumping off defenders nice and easily and making those extra post-contact metres. As Mustafa, we see now going down the right.
This is a good set, this, Dan. Just carting that ball up and just simple rugby. And
heavy pressure from the forwards, isn't it? As we see the kick as well, and it's fumbled by Graham, but Tate will then look to bring it out, but goes over the touchline. Good effort again by Ewan Stevens, as we heard the nose shouted upstairs from Rob Burrow. Didn't want that as an option, but it does kind of come off in the end.
Yeah, a bit lucky there, but thought we had them on back foot a bit then, just rolling up the field, so I wonder if the better option would have been to pass through hands, but we got a drop out from it, so hopefully we can go again.
Interested to see if he was actually in touch after he'd passed the corner flag. A scrum maybe providing a different sort of a better opportunity than a dropout, but we'll see if Leeds can capitalise here. As Johnson onto O'Connor, good carry. I don't think he's gone off yet, Jared O'Connor. He's doing big minutes, like we've seen from Louis McConnell, who's in there wearing number 8. And now it's with Mustafa off the drop off from Spence. To just break away from Stark, and does so. Spence onto McConnell, looking to get the offload away, and Dupree's there with his ready to receive the ball, and he's looking to go himself for the try line. Dupree, and he's held up.
Yeah,
unlucky.
Yeah, he's good at Dupee. He's running at overs, and we saw a good try last week against Wigan where he just bundled over, running at overs, and big strong lad, but it was good defence by the whole place to hold him up. Go on, Jared.
And Jared goes for the line, and Jared O'Connor, he fumbles the ball. And what would that have been to score his first try for Leeds? A perfect opportunity for him to ground the ball over the line, and it just comes free. You can see as he just tries to put that down. We'll see a replay. As Atkinson with Hull with the ball, we just see it here going at the line, and just is so unlucky to ground that ball. He's got men all around him. It's a difficult opportunity to try ground the ball, but one that could. We talk about missed chances, and that's definitely one of them.
Yeah, it was a great step by Jared and to get through line, but just couldn't hold it to put it down.
So now with City of Hull chance to build for themselves as Bartlett tries to get the ball back to Cutsworth, but the referee's just waving play on. Must have been a knock on there or something to how that ball came free. Definitely wasn't an offload. As the ball's hoiked high from Morgan into Ewan Stevens, and the chase is offside. Not for the first time this afternoon. There've been a couple of calls from the referee of offside in this game. So Leeds will have another opportunity here, and they go with the spontaneous play, and Burton taking that pass on the right. Ewan Stevens with his hands on the ball in the end. It's an interesting player. Definitely one that bamboozled the City of Hull players as Joe Burton now. Down the middle. Now with Corey Johnson looking to make stuff happen from dummy half. Now it's McConnell. Quick play to Johnson. Dupree in at the line. He's been denied once, Tyler Dupree. Will he get another? He's close. He's very close. As now it's Georgiou looking to get himself over. It's a battle of the forwards to try see who's going to ground the ball first. Johnson looking to go from dummy half. There's opportunities. His arms up in the air. And there was never the opportunity of grounding it, but maybe would a pass have been better on last tackle?
Yeah, it were a great play, just off that tap, coming back on short side and managed to get upfield, but I'm not sure what we were doing there. Just seemed to ramp it up on line and try to use our forwards, but
definitely not the option.
Yeah, hopefully we can try ship it out next time.
It's a decent place to turn over the ball. It's now with Callum Stark, who put in for the first drive. Now it's with Will Tate. It's not a bad place to make City of Hull have to come from here, and Tom Were scored a try in the first half, opened the scoring actually for City of Hull. Just to mention, you didn't see his try in the first half highlights due to our technical issue. And that's with Josh Atkinson. City of Hull look to just make breaks down the middle. There's no opportunities yet for them. No opportunities appearing. And now they have to go with the grubber kick behind for Witten to collect, and it's a decent defensive set there, Sam. Just to make sure that they are having to grubber from a decent way into their own half.
Yeah, that's good from the fellas there. We're just getting in that cycle, and I think they're gassing a bit now. If we can just keep this ball for the next couple of sets, hopefully.
There's now Barton over on the right. Get a breakaway from the men around him. There's no opportunities yet for him. He produced that brilliant offload to put Liam Tyndall in for the first try, and Harry Georgiou's offload is batted down by City of Hull, and instead the referee's shouting turnover. Possibly the wrong call there.
Yeah, a bit unlucky there from Harry. I think the whole player got an hand to that offload and it's not coming off for us.
It's the one thing that you think that Rob Burrow and the coaching staff has definitely sort of pushed in this second half has been the amount of offloads as City of Hull try to come up with their own. And instead the ball's been given as a strip
Harry
for
there
City of Hull. And
Harry's still complaining about that offload to the ref.
well, he would. He wouldn't want it. He's trying his best out there to do what the coaches have told him to do, and he'd be frustrated not that that didn't get spotted. So City fall with another opportunity with about 60 minutes. We've played about an hour in this one. As Mikey Lewis drops a ball for Bartlett close to the line. And now they come back through the middle. De Oliveira getting Hull close. Can they add a fourth score after coming so close twice before already? Since scoring. The third try as Lewis booms a pass over the top, and there's space out wide here for Charlie Graham, and doesn't ground the ball.
I think that's Ewan again.
That's Ewan Stevens coming with another master performance.
Yeah, he's had a great game today, and I think that's the third
We've just seen that on the replay. You're thinking here when Lewis passes that ball out to Graham, he's in. He just needs to commit himself to the corner, but instead gets cover from Joe Burton and Liam Whitson. And really, a straightforward grounding. You know, he's turned the ball over. Great play.
Just shows you how fast Ewan is, and looked to had a lot of space there, their winger, but just caught up to him and made him knock on.
So you can see the size difference between the two, and but that goes out the window, doesn't it? When you're defending your line, it doesn't matter who's in front of you. You've just got to tackle, and that's the basis that Ewan Stevens has made that tackle.
Yeah, definitely.
Great play.
Somewhat what they work on their backs with Rob and just getting around that ball over the line and try to stop it.
There's Mustafa down the middle, 30 metres out from his own try line. Good carry from the starting prop, who's now gone into the second row due to the injury to Owen Trout. As Whitton gets the ball out to Ewan Stevens, who's backing himself to just get around the outside of Graham and does commit it. And Whitton trying to get away from Tate as well. Quick play from Stevens, allowing that to play on there. Mallinson onto McConnell. It's all slowed down now as it comes to Spence. Spence, one arm passes it out to Barton, and Tyndall looking to try and get himself in the corner. They're doing a really good job to try and get there. It does get there.
Great try from Tyndall there.
The referee's looking around and he gives the try. Brilliant try.
Great strength from Tyndall there, just getting ball off TJ on bounce and taking 3 men over the line with him.
It looked an impossible start, didn't it? From when you looked at the play, you didn't think he was ever going to ground that ball. The options were against him. There was too many men in front of him. But it was a quick pass again from Barton that just opened the space, and he backs himself. Unlike what we just saw a minute ago with Charlie Graham for City of Hull, Liam just backed himself for the corner.
Yeah, definitely. Both wingers playing a part in that one, and Ewan just making that breakdown left side, and then it was a smart play from Harvey. And
there we go again. Yeah. Again with the quick pass. There you go. 1, 2, 3, and he's in. That's really well played from Liam Tyndall. How can Harvey Spence make it a 2-point difference? Yes, he can. Yes, he can.
Great kick from Harvey there. Somebody does excellently last week. He had a right kicking game, didn't he, Dan? And if it weren't for him, we probably wouldn't have won game.
We wouldn't have last week. No, there were some tough conversions as well. The Liam Tyndall one out wide, like the other week. And even the Dupree one was both difficult conversions, and he made them look very, very easy. And he's only missed one today. He's definitely a sniper shooter for this season. In terms of his kicking, he's got some very good percentage conversions for the amount that he's converted this season. He's converted nearly 70% of the kicks he's attempted, as Liam Whitton comes up with the error, and off the back of such a positive play, not what we needed to be seeing a minute, 2 minutes after scoring a try, Sam.
Yeah, Dan. Something he's really good at is Whitton normally, and just had the best games I think today, and hopefully he can turn it around for this last 15 minutes or so. And
it's the second time he's come up with an error in such fashion from a kick-off. Does have to be a thing now of you do need to work to earn the right to have the ball back, and that's what his teammates are going to do for him at the moment, as Were takes it close to the line. Now it's Webster out dummy half, looking to ground the ball. But there's plenty of men around him. Rowley, Dupree, Mustafa as well as Cutsforth. Drops the ball in for Stark. Tries to get himself under the post. They're in a great position here, City of Hull, to mount an attack. As Walker looks to go into... Sorry, Mikey Lewis looks to go to the line. He's one of the most dangerous players, you'd have to say, today. From fullback, he's been causing Leeds all sorts of issues. Webster onto Cutsforth, a little kick back on the other way, and Stevens is up there again to compete. And now it'll be Lewis's turn to go to the opposite side of the field. Liam Tyndall's going up there to compete. It comes off Bartlett, but the referee's waving play on. And it'll be Ben McNamara who's out on the field now for City of Hull to pick up the ball. Cutsforth out wide into Jude Ferreira. Good tackle from Barton. I think we're all a bit bemused by the decision there, that which way it was going. There's a good run back on his inside now from Tate. And has he grabbed the ball? Yes, he has. Sorry, that's not Tate. That's Kean Tyson, wearing number 13 at loose forward. Good run in and get some results.
Yeah, I think it was a poor decision there by Liam Tyndall to come football. I think should have probably just let them have it because it was a poor kick, but just taking it back to tackle zero, and then good strength from the loose to get over.
So it's 16-22, the difference now, with about 15 minutes left to go. And after scoring that try through Liam Tyndall down there, City of Hull go, we can do one better. Taking they didn't let the ball die when they could easily have, stopped the play from that decision with Liam Tyndall that we were all a bit bemused by, I think. They didn't stop and played to the whistle and have got the results. Kean Tyson, the loose forward, scoring for City of Hull. 16-22, could be 24. We're waiting for Lewis's conversion.
All started from that kick-off, Dan, didn't it? And just put us on back foot, that error. But hopefully we can try to do the same to them now and in this last 10 minutes.
And the flags are raised, so that's another 2 points. 16-24 in favour of City of Hull. So yeah, that all did stem from the drop ball from kick-off. And just when Leeds really needed to be building, you're 2 points behind now, you're 8. And there's another mix-up. No one's getting a grip of today. It's been one of those sorts of days, hasn't it, for rugby league, where no one's really got a grip of the game. As we'll see it again.
Maybe just a bit of a commentator's curse there from me.
I think it is, yeah. Not calling for the ball. I think it's definitely been a reoccurring trend today that neither team's really grabbed this game. Maybe City of Hull, you could say, in the first 10 minutes when they scored the points, but neither team's really taking the opportunities to score. And Stevens now is metres from the line. Barton quickly in at dummy half. Gets there in the end, plays the ball. So it's Ollie Burton on the field now for Leeds. As Mustafa looks to ground the ball. Unable to. Burton. Onto McConnell. McConnell just looking to get the offload away and does. And there's a bit of space opening up out wide. Joe Burton onto Ben Markland for the corner. And Ben Markland has scored in the corner. And this could be a very mad last 10 minutes or so. We're going to see it again. McConnell onto Johnson. Onto O'Connor. Burton just making the defence slide. And it's another try. We could be doing this for the next 10 minutes, Sam. It could be that sort of game.
Yeah, it were great work there and fantastic hands just to get it out to Ben for his first touch, I think. First touch at ball. And getting that 4 points. And hopefully Harvey Spence can convert this.
Bring it back to within 2 points. I think from what it looks like, Liam Whitton's left the field. It's going to be, and Ewan Stevens has gone to full back. Which is more natural position from when we've been talking to him previously.
Yeah, it is, but
He seems happier there, but
I think he's had a great game.
and that hits the uprights. Very close. Very, very close, but with 10 minutes to go, 4 points. It could go either way this game. It could go either way with about 10 minutes, I should say. The clock's not 100% accurate. So the City of Hull to get us back underway. Kicks away, and it is Liam Whitton that's left the field. Corey Johnson just allowing that to bounce. It's a breakaway for Johnson.
Yeah,
Johnson's getting up over the 40. Looks on his inside. McConnell was there. Ollie Burton as well. Plenty of players to help him out. Now it's with O'Connor. Lands on his front. Gets to play the ball into City of Hull territory. Joe Burton. Wants to break away and does. Joe Burton down the middle. Could it be another try? Yes, it is. Joe Burton in to score. Could have maybe pulled it around the front of the sticks. But like that, Leeds are back in this game, and we've said how mad it's been for this last 15 minutes. We see the break there, and no one's catching him. Charlie Graham is not catching him. I think that's his play back in that's forced him to come away and not been able to score under the posts.
Yeah, it was absolutely great feat from Joe Burton there. He does it all the time to me in training and just leaves me for dead, but great work there from him, and hopefully we can add these two.
I think it was a slack defence in the middle from when Johnson picked up the ball from kickoff. That little break there, then O'Connor, both of them landed on the fronts, quick plays, and that's just allowed Leeds to just get that roll on and have really put themselves in contention again. And it's another tight one, isn't it? It's another tight one. As Spence looks to give Leeds the 2-point advantage. Just a quick little break. For the first time that Leeds all have led in this game. That's a weird one to think. Looking at the dominance we showed in the opening 5 matches before Huddersfield. So don't forget, we will be getting full-time comments from Rob Burrow and some of the players from the field. You can hear about how about their thoughts post-match as Spence loops the ball back in. It's another conversion, taking it up to 26-24. And I'm still not convinced this game's done yet, Sam. I'm still not convinced.
No, hopefully we can just take this kick-off on full and just get it up to their line and just camp down on their line. Hopefully, they might go short here.
You'd expect them to, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
You'd expect them to. Mikey Lewis is there. And so instead it's a little grubber. And it's bobbled over the top. And like that, Bartlett's back into the play. And like that, Leeds are defending. Like that, Leeds are defending. We said that this game wasn't done yet. De Oliveira.
Yeah, we just need to front up now, Dan, and just a bit of that goal line D.
Tyson, 10 metres from the Leeds line. They're really in muscle up here, Leeds. Not have any leaks at the moment. Webster, short pass to Horsgrove, and he's in. Hogarth is in. And we've said that this game is not done. It just won't finish.
Yeah, Dan.
And it's City of Hull's turn to go. It's our turn now.
A bit disappointing there. Just that defence on our own line, we need a bit more energy.
You can see Stevens telling them to go that way. They've got it marked. Mustafa and McConnell have got it marked. I think that's more frustrating than anything. As Mikey Lewis will take all the time he needs to make this. You'd expect 30, and Leeds will be forced to score. Well, they'll have to score. They'll have to score to win the game. So Mikey Lewis going for the conversion. So the wind won't be playing a big factor in this one. He does slot the conversion, making it it is now 30-26. So there's about 5 minutes to go. It took a very long time to take that conversion.
Yeah, we probably do the same if we're in that position, but
it should be. You'd expect short kick-off, but instead they're going to bring it back. Interesting that we've gone for the long one there. You'd have thought short kick-off.
yeah, just maybe just try to force that error on near their own line. But
You'd expect though now that we've showed the long kick-off that we'll possibly go short. We'll change this. It's the thing, you just don't know what strategy we've got here, and it is a relatively short one, but Tyson picks the ball up. It was a awkwardly bouncing one. It was who was going to get the highest and pick it up. So that's with Tom Were. In the closing stage of this game, what can Leeds bring out if they are to win here at Stanningley? Hogarth. Down the middle for City of Hull. They've taken all the time they need to get to the end of this set, and you'd expect kick for touch. Not give Leeds any opportunities. D'Oliveira just throws Ryan Rowley away. Johnson in there with the tackle in the end. Good tackle from the Leeds man. Webster out to Tyson. Tyson back in field. Bounces away from one, bounces away from two. Louise Mustafa's having a bit of a wrestle with him and eventually pulls him down by the bootlaces. And whilst we're thinking Leeds should really look for another try as they go for the aerial option, Ewan Stevens as safe as houses today. He's been it's a man of the match performance from Ewan Stevens.
Yeah, Dan, just forcing that penalty from their winger, and just need to get up the field now.
Only 4 points separate the two sides at the moment. Dupree. Leeds really needed to score in these last few plays. Now it's with Johnson. Bit of space in front of him. Gives it off to O'Connor. Brings it back in field and offloads to Johnson, who's running out of options, staying static. He's taken down just shy of his 40-metre line. Now it's O'Connor. Over to this left-hand side. Doesn't look to be anything on here for Leeds, but gets a quick play of the ball. Joe Burton down the middle. Looks to bust away from one or two on the fourth play. That's to his brother Ollie Burton. Who passes on to McConnell. Short pass to Mustafa. Looks to wrestle his way from Bartlett.
We need to challenge this kick now, Dan. If it's fifth.
And they're going to the short side. They've got men over here, Leeds. Spence looking to get himself away, but they've wrapped the ball up, so that is going to be a final play. And could that be the game? Could that be the final play here? The referee's looking at his watch. Could Leeds be wondering what might have been if they hadn't have conceded those 3 tries early on in this one, as Josh Atkinson takes a ball in. Do you expect him to take as much time as they need now?
Yeah, just they'll be try to settle it down here, Hull, and just keep up the...
Nothing silly.
No.
As Stark in with the ball. They go right onto D'Oliveira. Plenty of runs for the big prop this afternoon. And Hogarth, the winning try scorer you'd expect in this one at the moment. Just getting up to halfway. Slow play of the ball. And they kick the ball away looking for touch. Instead finding Ben Markland. So this could be a last roll of the dice here for Leeds. Markland. In down the middle. Stevens drops it off inside to Joe Burton. Leeds on borrowed time at the moment. There cannot be many minutes, you'd say, left in this one as Johnson inside to Dupree. Dupree gets the ball away to Markland. Just finds his knees. It's a good tackle over the top from Hull. Be looking to close the game out. Johnson, big defensive effort needed here from City of Hull. Spence out to Stevens. Stevens onto Barton. Barton, bit of space in front of him. Busts away from Cutsforth. Finally gets the ball to ground. Mustafa, bit of space in front of him. Goes to the line, Moise. He's so close to the line. Fifth tackle here and plays the ball and nobody's there. And City of Hull pick up the ball. And just when he thought that Leeds should have really been on the dot and should have been ready to score at any point, there's just a silly little error.
Yeah, that's just a coach killer, that, Dan. It just... They should have been full of energy, just...
ready to try,
yeah,
even go from dummy half. So City of Hull going in at the line. Bartlett finds his front and plays the ball to Webster. Webster out wide to Walker, gets a kick away down the edge. On to Stevens. So this might not be a last opportunity yet as Stevens looks to break away, gets away from two. We were nearly having a Jack Broadbent moment there. As Corey Johnson wants to inspire Leeds somehow here. Liam Tyndall. Quick play to Johnson. Johnson, chip and chase is taken out in back play. And yeah, the referee is going to blow the penalty back in favour of Leeds. And time is taken off. I can't even guess how long's left in this one, Sam. We could be playing for another 5 minutes. Rowley into the line. Could this be the moment for Leeds to pounce and win the game? Let's see. Ollie Burton onto Johnson. Johnson to Spence. Spence looks out wide for Tyndall and Tyndall bounces the ball. And that's full time here at Stanley. And Leeds Rhinos edged 26-30 by City of Hull Academy, who ran out to an early lead in the first half, 18-0, thanks to tries from Tom Were and 2 from Morgan Cutsforth. Leeds got back in the game through Liam Tyndall and Harvey Spence to make it 10-18 at half-time. In the second half, Leeds a really inspired fight back. Liam Tyndall scoring on the board again, Joe Burton and Ben Markland. But a try from Kia Tyson and Jamie Hogarth just swung it back and made sure that City of Hull got the result, and another tight one, Sam, in the end.
Yeah, it's disappointing, that one, Dan. Not the best performance from the boys there, but hopefully we'll learn from it and take it on to next week and perform a bit better this time.
So we'll just see some highlights of the game, but you can hear from Rob Burrow and some of the players from the field straight after this. So post-match reaction, we do have to apologise for not having any visual footage due to a technical difficulty, but I've got Louis McConnell alongside me at full time. Louis, what are your thoughts after the game?
Yeah, well, obviously, first off, disappointing. We didn't start well at all today, and errors in end, all just capitalised on them.
To go down 18 points so early in the game, to actually fight back to 10 points at half time must have been a great result for you guys.
Yeah, it is. We do it. We like to do it tough sometimes, but it just shows great character and some individuals we've got in this team that can get us out at hard stuff sometimes when it's like today. It
looked like it was going to be another close one. Only 2 points in it a couple of times in the game. Do you guys really have the spirit that you could fight back and win it?
Yeah, we did. We thought we could, and we felt it as well. But obviously, just in end, it wasn't enough.
And for yourself, going up, it's Bradford away next week. How are you looking forward to being in another curtain raiser with hopefully as much drama as we had like last week?
Yeah, it's great, obviously, to be involved in the curtain raisers and play in front of fans before. Obviously, first team fixture, and when fans get behind, it's just a bit more energy and helps as well.
Oh, thank you very much, Louis. So we're just going to call in head coach Rob Burrow. Rob, your thoughts after that one?
Yeah, disappointing. Obviously, backup game from the good performance at Wigan. You try and build a bit of consistency and momentum, but that's a bit of a stumbling block for us today. But obviously, young lads, they'll learn from it, and we'll have to kick on, and that's what it's all about.
Just as a personal highlight today, and a personal performance, you definitely have to highlight Ewan Stevens for his contribution today.
Ewan was great, and obviously he's a young lad who's got some great talent, and he was one of them that can keep his head up out there today. It was a tough day sort of to be on the wing, but he made a good show of what he got, and good players can do that.
To come back from 18 points down early on and get so close as we did, 2 points at points in that game, what does that show about the character of this side?
Well, just start with what you said there, Dan, is that being 18-0 down in something like 12 minutes was where we lost the game ultimately. You always expect your team never to give in, but the fact that we were 18-0 down and totally shell-shocked was ultimately why we lost the game.
And just finally, going to Bradford next week, so we said to Louis to be in another curtain raiser game. How much are you looking forward to being part of that?
I'm just glad that the guys get to experience what it's like to play on, obviously on the main pitches. And I remember being at Odsal when it was 20-odd thousand crowd. So it'll be a great taste for them, a great experience for them. Hopefully they can, pick up the forms the next week from this week.
So thank you very much to Rob Burrow. So the Rhinos unlucky today, having a second loss of the season, losing to City of Hull Academy at Stanley. Next week you can see the Rhinos as they travel to Bradford Bulls for the curtain raiser prior to their Challenge Cup match against the first team sides. So show your support for Rob Burrow's side. If you can't wait for more live academy action on Facebook and YouTube, you can watch full match highlights of this game and interviews on the Rhinos website and YouTube channel. And we will be back here at Stanley to face Warrington Wolves on June the 1st. But until then, see you later.